Well, welcome back to DMC TV Live. Joining me, the president of American Hat Company, Mr. Keith Mundee. Keith, great to see you this morning. Thank you for being on DMC TV.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you too.
I love talking about American Hat Company. I wear American hats. It's a tremendous company, what you and the Maddox family have continued to build over the years. Since 1915, American Hat Company has represented quality products.
Right.
I can say that is true. There's no truer words that you could express to American Hat Company. Saying that, what are some of your exciting products that you're debuting here this August?
One of the things I'm really excited about is we had an opportunity to meet some guys, some Green Berets, and they were the guys that the movie 12 Strong was about. Mm-hmm. And so they were the first 12 men into Afghanistan on 2011, wow. Or 9/11, right. Mm-hmm. 2001. Anyway, so we are doing a Green Beret-inspired hat. So it's the color of the Green Beret that those guys wore. Yeah. So we're excited about that. We're also excited about the opportunity to do the Texas Ranger 200-year bicentennial hat. So we're working on all those things. So in January, we'll actually have Texas Rangers in the booth. And then we have this new bicentennial hat. It's got a new buckle set and some cool things on it. So we're excited about both of those things.
That's really neat. Well, I always feel like you have so many VIPs that come through the Best Hat Store in Fort Worth, Texas, not to mention to see your warehouse at American Hat Company. Those VIPs, I think it helps being across from Billy Bob's, but you have all the A-listers come in and get a new hat from you, it seems.
We're very we're very blessed. It's just been phenomenal, you know. Being in the right spot, location. And so Susan Maddox's Keith and Susan own that store in the stockyards of Fort Worth. It's a separate business from American, mm-hmm. but that's all they sell is American hats. Right. So they probably sell more hats than anybody in the country.
Well, speaking of the great and late Keith Maddox, a dear friend of yours and mine alike, he passed away in 2019, but his legacy truly does live on through American Hat Company. A tremendous man, a great friend, a great business partner. What legacy did he leave for you and all of your team members to really keep this going?
Well, you know, that's the thing that we're doing right now is to keep that legacy alive. And so he left us his horse and cattle brand, which is a plus and an X, and that stood for Positive Times. Mm-hmm. So that has become the North Star for American Hat Company. So anytime we're faced with any decisions, you know, I get with Susan, we figure it out, and but we want to look at it through that Positive Times lens always. Mm-hmm. And so we just choose to be positive.
Well, and speaking of that, Positive Times as well as American Hat Company, I think what is so neat about your brand is you really started having those stickers and emblems on the back of the cowboy hat, because sometimes it's hard to really understand or designate what brand cowboy hat, and you all really started that, and Positive Times, you can see it from a mile away.
Exactly. So that's worked out really good. And you know, then we started with the flag on the back, and to be honest with you, that was part me, because as I'm looking at hats and trying to understand this industry, I go, I can't tell one hat from the other mm-hmm. unless it's like a really nice hat versus a really inexpensive hat. So we put the flag on the back just as a symbol that we're about America and we believe in America, mm-hmm. and we're a patriotic company.
Yes. Well, and speaking to that, love having you here at Dallas Market Center. As I mentioned with the CEO just a moment ago, this is the second edition of WESA for 2021. Why do you think it's important to show here in Dallas, and what are your initial reactions and comments?
Well, I think it's going to be fantastic. Texas is the epicenter for all things Western. Mm-hmm. You stop and think about that. So all of the trends in fashion and everything really start in Texas, and then they move their way to the East Coast and the West Coast. So in my opinion, having it here, it only makes sense. I mean, we've got a world-class building, a world-class facility. The Dallas Market Center crew has been fantastic. So we're thrilled to death that it's here. We've got a brand new showroom on the 14th floor. It looks great. Yeah. We're just excited to write some business here.
Speaking of the last 18 months and business, it's been a critical time and a crucial time for so many companies. Is there anything in your mind and your business model that stood out to you that you were able to do or change or maneuver over the last 18 months that made a difference?
Well, projecting and planning. You know, we're constantly planning. Keith wasn't a big one on having these big, giant strategic sessions where you go to a hotel and lock yourself in for 5 days and come up with some crazy ideas, and then you come back and nothing ever comes to fruition because something changed. So we believe that it's a 99% vision and 1% alignment. So we focus on what the goal is, and then we just realign as we have to based on what's happening on the ground. So.
Your customer service is second to none at American Hat Company. You speak with so many of your retailers and buyers alike constantly. What are you hearing about the holiday season as it quickly approaches?
We think it's going to be strong. I mean, the orders coming into the factory are off the charts.
Wow.
I mean, we're in rarefied air now, so we've never been in this position before. We're thrilled to death. We've got raw material coming constantly, so we've projected out. You know, so we like to have a goal, but a goal without action is really just a dream, and then a dream without having that goal ends up becoming a nightmare. And so
I hope you wrote that down.
Yeah, so,
I'm going to remember that.
So our whole thing is planning and projecting, and we're trying to get our sales force to do the same thing with retailers. Plan ahead, project ahead, because it's unprecedented times, and the lead times on getting stuff is a lot longer.
Yes, it's going to take a lot longer.
Yes, yeah.
Keith, it's such a pleasure always visiting with you. Thank you for being here at Dallas Market Center. I hope you have a great show.
You bet. Thank you.
Are you gonna call me on it?
So
yes, I know. I have it in my bag, but I can't get down to get it. But on commercial, I'm going to show you. Okay.
Okay. So
I knew you were going to do this. I thought about this the entire drive over. So
you're the only one that has gotten me on this, and it still cost me $323 to this day.
No, you used to note the cent, so at least you've dropped that at least.
Yeah, I rounded it off. So.
Well, I have to tell everyone about this because this is really phenomenal, and I may botch it, so you might have to help me out a little bit. But Keith Mundee is obviously a dear friend of mine. The Maddox family is too, and they started these challenge coins when Keith Maddox passed away.
Correct.
And you gifted me my coin. I think we were, I don't know if it was at the NFR in 2019. I can't recall exactly when it was, but I took this to heart and I kept it with me all the time. And you told me every time that you see me, pull it out and let's see if we both have it. And who doesn't have it has to buy drinks for everybody. And I took it to heart. So I kept it in my wallet. I can't ever keep track of anything, but for whatever reason, I've kept track of my challenge coin. And I pulled it out on you at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. And you didn't have it, Keith.
Right. They had told me when I went in there, they said, hey, the metal detectors are turned up really high. So I literally took my knife out of my pocket. I took metal credit cards out of my pocket. Yeah. And then she dropped that on me the minute I walked into the suite. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know.
So you're the first one that got me. But
I know.
But
I'm going to show you. Yeah, we're going to be a little long on this commercial break because I got to get it out of my bag because this is serious. But Keith, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment.